Welcome to Beating Cancer Daily. Beating stage 4 cancer for 30 years still takes my breath away every time I say it. I'm Saranne, founder of the ComedyCures Foundation, and I hope you'll join me for just a few minutes daily for the next 365 days so we may laugh, learn, maybe cry a little as we live our best days beating cancer daily together. I love when you write in and you tell me a topic that you want me to explore on Beating Cancer Daily, because I've done over 300 and almost 40 episodes since 2023. And so when you find one that I haven't done yet, I'm like, are you kidding? I didn't do that yet. You're exactly right. But what was really fun is that the person asked if I would do it with Missy Hall. And if you haven't heard the 45 episodes out of the hundreds that I did with Missy, you have to go back and listen, because Missy's not only an amazing comedian that's done programs with our nonprofit, the ComedyCures Foundation, but she performs all over. She's beloved. And Missy contacted me last year and said that she had been diagnosed with cancer. So the first 45 episodes are us going through her cancer treatment from diagnosis to survivorship. And I feel like we need cymbals and a marching band and drumming. She's smiling and laughing in the background, but it's such an accomplishment. But we also looked at comic perspective and the life of a comedian while going through cancer treatment. So those are really interesting episodes. And Missy took a little hiatus. And if you've been following, you know, because her daughter Carly went through some health challenges, and then Missy got to do something super special. So, of course, we weren't going to have her have to do the podcast at the same time. So I want to officially welcome back. We missed her so much, to Beating Cancer Daily, comedian and cancer survivor, Missy Hall. Hey, Missy.
Hello, hello. I'm so happy to be here. Thank
I
you for
They
having.
can't see your face, girl, but I am so happy to see your face on Zoom while we record.
Oh, it's the best to see yours. It really is. Yep.
So everybody's okay. And what did you get to do that was so special so that you didn't have to do the podcast?
Yeah, well, first, everybody's great. Everybody is doing really well.
Little baby.
The little baby's absolutely fine. The little toddler's fine. Mom is finally fine. Dad's fine. Like everybody's good.
Have you like exhaled because you went through a time? Have you actually
Yes.
exhaled?
Do you know when I exhaled? And I think this is interesting. I exhaled when a little over a week ago they all got strep and nobody ended up in the hospital. It
Amazing.
was just normal,
Yeah,
you know?
you guys probably built a wing in the
Yeah,
past 6 months based on how many
like,
hospital stays
yeah,
everybody had.
yeah. Nobody had to go to the hospital. And I was like, see, we can just have a normal sick that's just an everyday sick that comes, is treated, and goes away, and everybody's fine. And that was just such a lovely strep throat. It
Isn't
was
that
great.
amazing? Like after you survive cancer and then the crisis that your daughter had after the birth, just to be like, ah, strep? Ah, who
Yeah.
cares? Who cares about strep?
Yeah, throw some antibiotics at that. And it's just exciting because, especially with the 2-year-old who had ended up hospitalized twice with breathing issues when he got sick, we're all kind of on the edge of our seats. And it's like, aha, he's fine. Like he didn't wheeze once. So it was just lovely,
Oh,
lovely, lovely. Yeah. So
well,
thank you.
everybody's been asking about you and your family. So I'm so glad that things seem to be on the upward swing. And then you got to do something super special. And I'm excited for you to hear what Missy got to do.
Oh my goodness, it was so fun. Now, I was not escaping the podcast, but it would have been hard for you to get me because I was in Europe on a river cruise, starting in Amsterdam and ending in Switzerland.
You are
And
so bougie.
it
You
was
are
so bougie.
so
It
bougie.
was so bougie that I'm not sure why they let me on.
Wait, did you go to perform on the ship? Were you and your husband performing?
No, we were not performing.
You got to go on a real trip and
I
not
got to
have
go
to
on a
perform?
real trip. Well, and here's the hilarious part of it, Sarah. And my husband is, along with being a comedian, he's also a travel advisor and he sells a lot of luxury travel. So this cruise was gifted to us. So we went on this ship. It's so funny because we both planned to not say a word about our jobs. He's like, we're going to get on this ship and I'm not going to tell anybody I'm in the travel business. I'm like, you know what? I'm not telling anybody I'm a comedian. And within 47 seconds, both of those things spilled out when we were on the ship. And it ended up being such a blast because so many people were fascinated by comedy. So many people had questions for Jeremy. And we ended up making amazing new friends based on both of those things and getting to see a part of the world I've never been to before in a very, very fancy way. So it was so much fun. So
That's
much.
awesome. I'm
Yeah.
just reporting to you that Missy is glowing and she's so happy when she's telling me the story. And I don't know if you've been on a trip since you have gone through cancer treatment or been diagnosed with cancer, but I remember my first trip and it was a big deal. I mean, it's a big deal to go to Europe after you've just gone through all this cancer treatment. Did you guys wear masks or you didn't travel with masks?
I had one in my backpack on the plane and I had one in my purse.
So
And
your purse in your backpack
I
couldn't
was
get
about to say,
couldn't get
so like,
pneumonia or COVID, but
yes, my masks ended up being like my travel apple. Do you have a healthy snack you take with you, but then never eat, and it just goes around with you like those purses? I'm sorry,
yes,
you know,
yes, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah.
So it was there for good luck. That's what it
It
was
was
there.
there for good luck, and I ended up not putting it on. And I don't know why. I think I was so desperate to just feel normal.
So
And
understandable. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that. No, but there is walking pneumonia going around. I just saw a study that there's been this outbreak, excessive amounts of walking pneumonia. So you're home, you're safe, you're good. You had it with you as your lucky mask in your backpack.
it even had sparkles. Like I had sequined masks with me, but I ended up not wearing it. Now, to be clear, if I had felt like I had symptoms of anything, I would have worn it to protect people around me and also to make sure I didn't pick up anything. But I tried implementing some of the immune booster tips that Jacqui, our functional nurse nutritionist.
She's laughing. So Jacqui is the Missy's just lost it. She's snorting. She's laughing so hard. She can't talk. So I'm going to help her right now. Jacqui Bryan is our functional medicine expert on Beating Cancer Daily.
Functional medicine.
If you have not heard the over 60 episodes that Jacqui has done, they're amazing. And Jacqui and I go through the body and we talk about how to keep all your organs healthy. And we go through tons of nutritional tips because she's a certified nutrition specialist, a whole health educator, a functional medicine specialist, a certified health coach. She's an RN, just really, really super talented and a cancer survivor of 21 years. So Jacqui does a lot on immune boosting for us at Beating Cancer Daily. And so Missy's just trying to say that she used a lot of Jackie's tips. Okay.
Yeah. How that all just rolled off your tongue so easy. When I talk about Jacqui, I get so excited trying to blurt out all of her credentials in one sentence, and I can't say any of them. Like
She's
none of
gonna
them are.
love that. This is just
Yes,
gonna make her day when she hears back this episode. Yeah, Jackie's so beloved. She's
she
amazing.
really is. And I got to tell you, I made sure I was staying hydrated. I stayed away from sugar. I tried to maintain as healthy sleep patterns as I possibly could just to keep my immunity boosted.
Yeah,
While
and we have a couple episodes on travel that I've done on time zones and the best way to travel for optimal health. So between those episodes, if you do have to travel, definitely listen to those. Missy, I'm so glad they worked for you.
they did work for me, and it felt also like a little lifeline. You know, once you've been through cancer, or if you're going through it, when you have a big trip that feels like something from your normal life, but you've still got this little cancer voice in your brain telling you to be careful, it's so nice to have some information just in my pocket to help take care of myself.
It's
And it made
empowering. I mean, I think that's what these episodes of Beating Cancer Daily really are. They're just empowering.
That's the perfect word for it. I felt very empowered.
That's so
And
good.
it was wonderful. And it was such a treat to be there on a trip. You know, I didn't know when or if I'd ever get another big fancy trip. And it was so much fun to have one, make new friends. I mean, we're still in touch with people we met on the ship. I'm going to fly out to Florida to see one in March. Like it's just been, it was
Do you feel
really,
that it took your relationship with your husband, Jeremy, to a different place after the whole cancer treatment? Did you feel any shift just being away and having an experience that didn't involve cancer?
we were so relaxed. And that was different than things have been. I don't think we realize what a state of heightened awareness and just hypervigilance that we are in when there's all these doctor's appointments and all of the information and so many conversations about it, to then just be standing there looking at each other in a castle that's been there for thousands of years and not even thinking about not just cancer, but nothing from real life, so to speak.
Yeah, I was going to say because he had his own medical crisis, while you were in this whole situation that wasn't cancer, but it was still a
It was
serious
a,
health challenge. And for you both just to let all that cortisol, all that hyper adrenaline just chill out and then go on this fantasy trip. What an amazing gift.
we are so blessed and so lucky that we got to do that. It was like balm to our souls. You know, it was really, really lovely. And you know what else was so much fun was getting home. And that might sound ridiculous, but to leave and then come back to our home and everything felt fresh, and to see the dogs and to just feel renewed just made everything at home even feel a little bit brighter.
Have you been on a comedy stage since you got back?
Oh gosh, I more than I can count, and it's been awesome.
That's interesting because I was going to say, do you get rusty when you're not on stage for that time and you're traveling and you're out of your life? Is it hard to remember your routine, or does it feel like, do you feel nervous going back on stage, or is it exhilarating? What's that process like?
For me, it feels like going home. I'm always a little bit out of sorts if I go for too long without a show, but not because of performing, just because I haven't had that release. So I get a little antsy.
They
I
call
get a
it
little,
spilkus. Spilkus.
oh,
You get a little spilkus. It's like
I like that.
it's like ants in your pants.
Yes, yes. And I am lucky insofar as my routine is so changeable. You know, I don't have a specific, what we'd call a set list that I go through. I kind of can be all over the place. So if I don't feel super prepared, I'm still fine because
Were
my
you
act.
tempted to do a set on the ship? Like say, hey, let me do, was there a comedian on the ship?
No, I don't think they do many on the smaller river cruises. There's only about 100 people. And I've got to tell you, because people find out you're a comedian, they're like, oh, we'd love to hear you. We'd love to hear you. And there is this part that's like, okay, I could make that happen. And then you're like, Missy, stay humble, stay in your lane, just be a
Be a
person on the,
civilian.
be a civilian with the other civilians. But it's hard, when your whole job is taking a room full of people and entertaining them. It's hard to turn that off.
Yeah. I wanted to see if you had any tips. You started talking about some of Jackie's, but as I said earlier, this was your first trip post cancer treatment with your husband. And I just want to see, were there any lessons you learned or any things that you would suggest if somebody else is about to take their first trip?
One of the things that really settled me in my mind was making sure I had all my medications ready to go. So, whereas pre-cancer, I wouldn't have thought about it. With this, with the medication I'm on, I checked a month ahead to make sure that my refill was going to be ready and that I would have spare pills in case we ended up stuck somewhere. That was very, very soothing and calming to have the peace of mind of knowing, if nothing else, if I forgot my shoes and my underwear, I had my medication. And that felt huge to me. I also made sure that foods that I was comfortable eating were going to be available. I've been trying to do more plant-forward eating. I made sure that there were plenty of vegetarian options that I would enjoy. I made sure that there would be fruit available, fruit and cheese, instead of some of the cakes and pies that I would normally eat. We made sure that we had insurance coverage for the trip that covers medical. And that's a huge, huge thing that I don't know that everybody thinks about. But we made sure we had coverage that if God forbid something happened to either one of us, Jeremy's diverticulitis, anything, we would be flown home, flown to the closest hospital of our choice and get treatment immediately at no cost to us. And the trip would be reimbursed.
So
Having
that's
those.
interesting because that's different from standard trip insurance, where if you have to cancel the trip, this is a secondary insurance for medical care outside of the United States or outside of the country that you live in. Oh, Missy, that's a really good point.
Yes. And that's so helpful in the back of your head to know. And I don't,
That's your
that, and
mask in the backpack.
that's
That's
my
your,
mask in the backpack is my insurance,
that's your
knowing.
good luck. That's your good
I
luck.
love that.
If you have it, you're not going to need it.
Exactly. A mask and an umbrella, right? Those are the things that I've never thought about so hard before a trip that I did think about for this trip.
Yeah,
And it
that's
made all the
beautiful.
difference. It made all the difference because then we could both relax. And instead of it being conversations of worrying, well, what if this happens when we're gone? We just had a plan in place. Now we automatically have the plan in place. Okay, so if one of us needs to go to the hospital, we're good. I also checked to see if there was any medication available on the ship because river cruises are smaller. They're not like big ships that have an infirmary because you're always near land. So I made sure to pack anything for any stomach upset or joint pain or anything like that. I just had it in my bag. It was like Mary Poppins with a big bag full of things.
Yeah, Kristen and I did an episode where we really talked about how we prepare for travel, and because we're both always on the road too, and just how we take care of ourselves just in case that emergency happens. Did you and or Jeremy write any comedy on the trip, or did you see opportunities where things might work themselves back onto the stage, or did you guys shut off the comedy brain?
I don't think you ever shut off the comedy brain, and especially because we both do it. we would find situations that were like, this is going to be funny, or I'd say you should do that as a bit and things of that nature. So yeah, that doesn't ever turn off.
Can you give us an example of one?
Well, one of them is Jeremy trying to find a hat. My sweet husband has wanted a hat for years, like a fedora or some sort of gentleman's cap. And my husband is small. So every hat he has ever tried on looks ridiculous. So we were in a small village in France and we found a hat shop. And my sweet husband is standing there trying hat after hat after hat after hat. They're all too big. And I kept looking at the shop owner and I don't remember much French, but I kept saying, petite tête, petite tête, petite tête, like telling him, I think I was telling him my husband had a small head.
All our
And
French listeners are laughing right now at your Americanized French accent.
I know French people are not going to appreciate my French. And so that's in when I'm talking about doing it on stage, I was like, I'll do my horrible French accent. And then that's the real story. Then when we take it to stage, I'll kind of exaggerate the horrible French I was using. My husband ended up with a wonderful hat. And I will tell you the truth that it is definitely a men's size hat. But when I tell it on stage, it's a child's hat.
Yeah, you had to go for the joke.
Right. So that's the kind of thing we did on the trip. This incident happened. I'm like, when I tell this story,
Now, will it be too risque to do the double entendre of Tet?
it
Will you?
depends on the place. There are
Okay.
some places I will lean into that,
Hmm.
and then there are some places that I will keep it
Very clean.
very, very
So
clean.
Missy and I are talking about double entendre and whether or not she will go blue with it. Blue humor, meaning that it's a little risque, has a sexual connotation. And so with jokes, a lot of times if you are a comedian that really is known for performing more of a clean set, you have a version if you end up in a comedy club on a Saturday night where the comics are being more blue, where you can kind of tweak the material just to be more in the flow of that night. But traditionally, Missy, you're pretty clean performing comedian.
I am pretty clean. And that's what I like because I think a joke that has some words that you never actually say, but can make a facial expression and go like, oh, yeah, I don't have to take it too far.
Yeah, the audience can fill in the blanks.
The audience
For
can feel
people who want to fill in the blanks and who like that
sure,
kind of humor. That's really interesting. Well,
sure.
Missy, I love having you back, and I'm just really excited. Missy is going to movie night with her husband. So we're gonna we're gonna let you go. But I had to bring you back. And you know what? We talked so much about this amazing trip and how you navigated your first trip that I'm actually gonna make this a cliffhanger and have the topic that the patient asked for be another episode.
Oh,
How about that?
I like that. And here I thought maybe the topic was what to take for travel. I thought I was so
No.
helpful.
No, no, it's
Like
actually
Missy was not helpful at all.
hilarious topic. No, no, but you know what? The audience just really missed you, and I wanted them to hear from you. And also, I think you had some really beautiful insights about travel. So I'm going to make our part two the specific topic that the patient wanted us to talk about.
That sounds wonderful. That means I get to come back too. So yay.
So, Missy, I love you, girl. I am so happy that you are back on the podcast, and I can't wait to meet up with you again. It has been so much fun. And thanks for all your great travel tips. And congratulations. It is a big accomplishment after everything you and your family have gone through to really just be able to take a trip and leave it all behind in the United States and experience life without carrying the whole cancer diagnosis and story with you. Did you tell people that you had cancer? I never
I did.
asked.
I did.
That's
And
interesting because some people make the decision when they go on vacation absolutely not to talk about it.
I can't help talking about it because I still feel led to share the experience because I feel like it helps people. And for some reason, it does tend to come up in conversations, even when I'm talking about making food choices, to not drink the wine that's being offered. It just comes up. And I don't make a big deal about it. But then if people want to talk, I'm happy to talk about it.
So, Missy, I am so glad you're back. I am so glad you had a magical time. And it's just so good to see your smiling face and to know that you had a trip of a lifetime with Jeremy. We're all so happy for you.
Thank you so much. It was amazing. It was such an amazing, it felt like a milestone. It really did.
So, if you are going on your first trip since your cancer treatment, or you've just come back, or you have tips for us that we can share that somebody else going on a trip can use, we would love to have them. So go to ComedyCures.org and hit the record button in the podcast section or go to the menu and write it to us because we love to give these beautiful tips and stories back to our community. If you want to find Missy Hall, you can go to her social media. She has a date night with Jeremy on Tuesdays on Facebook. And if you can't find Missy on social media or her website, then just write to me and I'll send you her signature. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you tomorrow. If you loved today's episode, then tell the world. Why? Because Beating Cancer Daily is a listener and donor supported experience. So the more people you tell and the more people that join us, the more robust and interesting programs our nonprofit, the ComedyCures Foundation, can bring to you throughout the year. So if you have some extra change, I'd love you to go to ComedyCures.org and make a donation today of whatever level is comfortable for you. And it will be tax deductible to the extent allowed by law because ComedyCures is a nonprofit 501c3 organization founded from my chemo chair, April 1999, and we've been going strong ever since. So please consider making a donation today and help our community and this podcast thrive. Guess what time it is? It's time for me to read the disclaimer. Beating Cancer Daily and the membership circle are not in lieu of medical advice or treatment. They are for entertainment purposes only. Please consult your healthcare team to review your best strategy. Thanks for listening. See you guys tomorrow.